Bush wins. Our CBS News estimate is, Governor, pardon me for just a moment, but I know you want to hear this. Stick with us if you will. Our CBS News estimate is that George Bush will be the next president of the United States and that Dan Quayle will be the next vice president of the United States, given what we believe to be the fact that Missouri's 11 electoral votes in a particularly hard-fought and expensive contest, that Bush will win it, getting 11 electoral college votes. So let's take a look at our map now. It's over. George Bush wins, carries Quayle in with him, and the next president of the United States will be George Bush. And we said a moment ago how tense it must be in the Bush and Quayle headquarters and homes tonight, because they were getting very close. Keep in mind how long George Bush has worked and dreamed about this moment. Here was a man raised as the son of a senator, sitting around the dinner table at night. I think you can well imagine what they must have thought and talked about when they talked about, well, George, you know, you've got an obligation to do public service. And George Bush, from the moment he began thinking about what he was going to do with his life, thought about public service and public service at a higher level. And almost all of his adult life has been aimed at the presidency of the United States. He now, by our CBS News estimate, will achieve that goal. George Bush will be the next president of the United States. Bob Schieffer, for Bush, whom you covered all those months, it must be a big personal triumph. He's not a person given to great outbursts of joy or sadness, except at exceptional moments, but heavens knows this has got to be one of them.
Well, I would think. And I think, you know, many people are saying this was a very unsatisfying presidential campaign, that it never really addressed the issues and so on, and all of the above is probably true. But I think you have to give George Bush credit for one thing. He figured out how to win the election. And if you're going to be a good president, the first thing you have to do is be president. You have to win the election. And he managed to do that. I think George Bush, a candidate who got hit and hit hard early on in this campaign up in the primaries, he was knocked flat of his back in Iowa. He got up off the canvas and knocked down the guy that had knocked him down. At one point in this election, he was 17 points down in the polls. He came back from that. You have to say George Bush is the kind of man who can get up after he's been knocked down. And I think there are a lot worse things you can say about a man than that.